Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our workshop, the May 18, 2024. The time is now 8:24. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Here.
Commissioner Kelly,
Present.
Commissioner Williams,
Here.
Mayor Taylor.
Here. As we stand for our invocation, led by Commissioner Kelly.
Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, God, for all of your many blessings. Continue to watch over this city. Give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to those things which are pleasing in your sight. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We're going to go into public comments. And this is a workshop, so we ask that you stay germane to the topics at hand. Public comments is open. Public comments is closed. Okay. So the topics of discussion for tonight are as follows: the Arabian Nights Festival, Historic City Hall, City of Opa-locka birthday celebration, monthly bingo event, Juneteenth, and special events. Anybody want to jump out there?
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
thank you. I originally had requested a workshop to talk about the Arabian Nights Festival. So I'll start since it's top of the list anyway. I'm looking at the budget, the amended budget for 250,000, which I guess is put in for it. I know last year the city, and probably prior to my coming back, I talked about Arabian Nights Festival. Nothing really took place. And so I noticed over the last year, we keep budgeting, but we've not started any real effort. I know there's some discussions about trying to maybe get a company, trying to get some type of overall vendor to be in charge or piecemeal it together. And so I wanted to bring it up for a discussion in this setting. And first of all, here, what was the thoughts, I guess, prior to my coming back? Obviously, all of us are familiar with the Arabian Nights Festival and what it really entails. But I wanted to get the thought process either of my colleagues, especially those that were here before I got back, and even from the manager's office, because I know there was some discussion or talk about trying to put something together. But I don't know whatever happened with the actual numbers. I do believe, if possible, we need to look at restarting, reestablishing the Arabian Nights. It is still in the minds and hearts of many people. Obviously, it can't be the way it was years ago, although we have a lot of great memories. But I still think it can be a signature event, if you will, for our community. I will just add that, it's not that it has to be necessarily by itself. I think there was some discussion about trying to put it maybe with the city's birthday anniversary every year or something of that nature. I don't know if that's doable, but I wanted to hear my colleagues' thoughts on it and then propose possibly we're in the middle of the year now, so I don't know about whether you can do anything this late or just look towards planning something for next year.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Williams?
Okay, so I'll speak on it, not much to speak on. I will, just to give a context of what was discussed probably the last 2 years, 2 years ago, prior to you joining the commission. Okay. We did not, there wasn't like any type of workshop or the commission saying we want to see this. One of the things that we did want to ensure at that particular time is that we hired a production company that was going to ensure, I heard you use the word piecemeal again, and that was never going to be it. And we're not going to allow our first Arabian Nights coming back out, I don't know, probably 20 plus years later, to be piecemealed. So the goal was to ensure that we get a production company that's going to handle the marketing, the production, and truth be told, this is small change. So it can't be something big, especially we're talking about 250,000. Most productions companies for even small festivals are like 500 and up. So, and that's just because times have changed. But I do know at the time, myself and I believe Mr. Mayor and maybe Commissioner Bass and who else, we tried to do have some conversations with, let's say, the city of Miami Gardens, and ask them what their first Jazz in the Gardens look like, what type of money that produced. So that's kind of where we started. But one thing we were not going to do was just throw a bunch of activities or things up in the air and just let them land. So what we do need to do, I believe, moving forward, is to make sure either we can send this out to residents as well. I know we have our community board, what's the name? Community Relations Board, as well as the commission. So everyone can throw in some ideas of what we would like to see. I do think that one of the things we would definitely like to see is a concert. And some type of concert would be, I know Arabian Nights, it's like 3 nights of concerts. I remember the youth, the local talent, whoever the headliner was, and the next day was the gospel fest. So that's for those of you who don't believe I grew up in Opa-locka. So, that's but we know we probably can't get to, that level right now. But I think for me, I would definitely like to see like a show, a concert happening. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner,
Well, okay, no, I'll keep listening.
all right. So I'll say this. I met with the manager about 3 weeks ago on Arabian Nights, and we were on the same page. And I told him we need a production company to shepherd this process. But I don't think that we should rush this process and do it this year. I think we should wait to do it next year. And another thing that came up in that meeting when the manager discussed is I think right now what we need to do is find a production company to shepherd the process, create a sponsorship deck so that we can start raising money for the Arabian Nights Festival. So if we spend the rest of this year raising money, start teasing it at the end of the year, put the date out, and boom, we're ready for the festival. I don't think we should do it this year. I'm not in agreement with it, and I don't know. I see you shaking your head too.
No.
So I'm not in agreement with that, but I'm definitely in agreement with a production company handling the process. But I will say Arabian Nights Festival was the city's signature event. And I did tell this to the manager. I don't agree with it being more than one day. Because I think we need to hit it one good festival to ease it. And then as we move on down the years, add to it. I think doing Arabian Nights like we did 20 years ago, we can't handle that right. So I think on one good day, even if we did a field day in the morning time, and this is what me and him discussed, a field day in the morning time of a pool party, whatever, on one side of the city, and then the concert on another side of the city. That's what came out of that meeting. And that's where we are.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, like right now we have 250, but that's from, I think, last year and this year. So this number will be even bigger next year.
That's
Am I-
if we
if
add
we-
money to it.
For the next year's budget. Okay,
But hence why I said if we now secure a production company, we can create a sponsorship deck and start getting the word out to raise money. Because it's gonna take money. It's gonna take money. But I think 250 is a good floor. but we're gonna need more to have us, like Commissioner Williams' point, to have a successful event.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
thank you. I wanted to hear the comments because I hear a lot of talk and conversation in the community. And I hear what you're saying about you met with the manager 3 weeks ago. I do remember when we first got back on the commissioner's discussion about production company or someone overseeing it, possibly creating a whole separate, not entity, but some umbrella that would do it. And I'm not opposed to that. I'm not saying we need to have Arabian Nights this year. What I'm saying is we keep budgeting, or if I look the last couple of years, as Vice Mayor just said, we got 250,000. I know it was money budgeted last year for Arabian Nights, but nothing occurred. So what I'm suggesting, just want to have a discussion. If we're going to go through that process, that we as a commission, and obviously it's workshops, so you could come back in legislative form to say step one by, I don't know, October or whatever it is to have the manager look at the production company. That's the way the commission wants to go. And then by December or whatever, date, the next step. And the date that we want to have it is next year, whatever it is, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, and what it's going to encompass. So there is a plan of getting to where you're trying to get to. Because right now it's just hodgepodge, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because we're budgeting the money, but we're not spending anything. And again, I don't know, a production company, you might need to get them on board before this year's out, just so they can start, because they're starting from scratch. But I do know if we don't do nothing with the money, only person be happy is probably the budget folks, so they can do something else with it. So we're going to do that. And you said you met with the manager, so and production companies. When you all talked about it previously, was there any numbers that was giving, or how you all were going to approach that?
No, what we left off at was going either he was going to procure it or try to piggyback for a production company. And then they were going to bring back a plan and bring it back to the commission for a vote and final approval.
Also, okay, so this is the meeting you have with the manager.
Just to mean I had the manager.
Okay, well, I'm okay, but I'm hearing Commissioner Williams saying about recreation board, the community, because you're saying 1 day.
Mhm.
So I guess the commission will have to decide if you want 1 day and what that would entail, or 2 days. Again, the production company professionals will probably be able to tell you. I would hope.
I was wanting a production company.
Okay, I would hope it could be at least 2 days, not necessarily 2 full days, but just kind of what you had before, something that evening, and then all day on Saturday or whatever. The reason it was 3 days because you had so much happening,
Mhm.
and you had really at that point 3 distinct groups. People don't realize that, but that's the reality. You had African American, Hispanic, and then you had white Americans too at that time. So you had 3 separate groups that So production company can probably help us with that. I just want to see us create a timeline so that next year, whenever the commission, whatever dates commission set, we're going to have a nice Arabian Nights, not piecemeal, money raised, but it has to start somewhere. So since you've already met with the manager on some kind of, you said piggyback, a proposal, I guess we could wait to hear from that. I would still like to possibly create something to engage the community via some questionnaire, whatever. But again, that could be part of maybe what the production folks would do. I don't know.
Well, then I'll say this, because I do agree with you, Mr. Commissioner Kelly, on the timeline. Mr. Manager, can we have a production company procure, no, we would have to have one procured by, can we have one procured by July?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then once the commission approves that, be it a piggyback or procurement, then maybe, let's say, we give them all of August to give us a plan of different ideas. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and then we can go from that in a
Okay,
workshop form.
but the only thing about your procurement, I don't know. So maybe there's already one, and I'm gonna be playing catch up. So I apologize, man. Because if you're going to get a production company, then I'm assuming there's been some kind of not RFP, but RFQ or whatever you want to call it, of what we want. So maybe y'all already had the discussion but what would we want out of production company? What would we want out of it? Is that what you already discussed? Or you said piggyback
We
possibly?
never,
off of-
we
So
never,
I'm
we never
gonna-
got that far. We haven't gotten that far. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna, let me just
Go ahead.
put a pin on that conversation real quick. If what this, my thoughts. I know we are in the middle of getting, or no, we should be at the end, but of having a new marketing firm. So I would like to see that particular marketing firm on board fully and that we engage the firm with this conversation as well. I just think, to me right now, and this is just me, I think this is a little premature for us to say, start putting out for production companies when our new marketing firm may already have all of this stuff in their wheelhouse. So I just think, to me, we should talk about what we're talking about is what we would like to see Arabian Nights look like. I know you had your individual meeting with the manager, but this is the first time that we're all having conversations. So I think, to me, that's what we should say so that whoever jumps on board as our firm, they know exactly what all five commission members would like to see. And then again, we can engage the community and boards, and we can do all that. Again, that can be through the marketing firm, and then we move forward from there. That's just my thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, I don't have a problem with the marketing firm. I don't know where they're at in the process. Only thing I want to hopefully accomplish, and the reason I brought it up, is to create the timeline of what we're going to do to get us to next year for a festival. We all agree can't do it this year. So I'm just trying to create a timeline. We're going to wait for the marketing firm, which is going to be coming pretty soon. I don't know when that'll be, to engage them. And then maybe 2 months from that, the next step, and then next month after that, the next step, to where the commission and the community, for that matter, has a time frame and a timeline of where we're all trying to get to, inclusive of all of our thoughts and what we want to see. So, Mr. Mayor, to my colleagues, I would suggest, well, let me ask this question and I'll make my final statement on it. Mr. Mayor, to the manager, when would the marketing firm be in place?
We are bringing a resolution for the commission's approval for selection of a marketing firm on May 22nd.
Okay, is it possible then, Mr. Mayor, because you've had the meeting, if you could maybe have I guess the clerk to disseminate at least the bullet points that you've already been talking about, so we don't recreate the wheel in our meetings or whatever. I don't know, Okay, so we're gonna have them by May. I'd like to propose, and you'll do it tonight, but I would suggest to the manager's office or whoever he designates, within a month after that, the next step is this. 2 months from that, the next step is that, whether we are engaging the firm to do it or the production company or piggybacking, I would just hope by the time we get to the budget, actual budget, that if dollars are needed to push this forward to get started, because you're gonna have some seed money. That's why I'm saying that. You're gonna have to, it may not be 250,000 that's needed. I don't know. But I want to see some time frames so we can say to the community, and we got time to go out, talk to the community, because they may want 3 days. We got to tell them you can't get 3 because it's just economically not feasible or whatever. But I'd like to see those timelines. And that's my suggestion. My colleagues, obviously, we don't have to come up with timelines tonight, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on at least creating a timeline process so that we can all get to where we're trying to get to for next year, which is a Arabian Nights event for the city.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr.
got it. But Commissioner Williams, let me ask you this. Are you suggesting that the marketing firm be the production company?
Oh, no.
No,
No.
I heard you say 2 different things.
What I said is, even for a time, like we can put out a time when none of us are in that field for us to say we want to see this, that, because to me, I would want to sit at the table with the firm that does, any firm at this point that does this work,
Okay,
and allow them to share with us, to engage in this conversation when it comes to timeline. I mean, I totally agree pushing it another year. I also think we probably need to increase the budget. We need to, but that's, but what I'm saying is sponsorship. Sponsorship. That's, that has to happen. And that takes time. Like people, especially big sponsors, that's like a 2 to 3 year window. We're talking about sponsorship. So all of those things, we're saying next year, but potentially this could be 2 years from now down the road.
Okay, so then I'll go back to what I stated the first time. Um, Mr. Manager, I would like, and we can get the will of the board, that by July, we procure a production company. And then that production company we can do a workshop in the interim, can sit with us individually, we can sit with us collectively, and then they develop a plan and present it to us as a whole. And we can do that by September. No, because that's the budget. Sometime in July, mid-August. And we can go from that. That's cool? Okay. All right, we good? Is that a good? So we're gonna procure a production company by July. And by August, we'll have a plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that okay, Commissioner Kelly? All right. All right, so we're moving on from Arabian Nights. All right, we're going into historical city hall. And I think the manager. You added this.
Yes, so we're trying to get the will of the commission for tonight, at this workshop so that we can, bring a motion at the commission meeting this evening to, express the will of the commission for paint selection. So that the paint takes about 3 weeks, to be, created. It's a special paint for, historic buildings. And so we want to get that moving forward, with paint selections, hopefully by the commission tonight. So our capital improvement projects department can move forward with ordering the paint and we can finalize plans and get an end date for completion of our historic city hall.
All right, do you want to introduce what we have in front of us, Mr. Manager? The three options or? That's it.
Yes, I'll have Ms. Gross come forward and introduce the three options.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. So in front of you have three options for historic city hall. Those are these colors are based on the historic property and the records of the national historical records. So the company shows the architectural company shows ivory, turquoise, terracotta, and I don't remember the other color. And green as part of the colors. You have three options. All the colors are based on those options and they have difference. The option A is an ivory color as it was a few years back. Option B is the most recent color that the historic city hall had but the domes were painted different. The colors of the domes are varying because those are the original dome colors. Each dome had a different color. And the last one is based on the city logo that is painted actually based on a 1928 picture.
Okay. All right, so we can't vote on it tonight. We would have to vote on this we'll do a motion.
No,
The commission meeting.
if you make your selections tonight, my understanding, you can make your selections tonight and then we can tally those. And so we can have a motion, for this evening. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Actually, we have an add-on item
Yeah.
for the regular commission meeting to vote on the color.
Okay, great.
And I did try to call you back, Mr. Williams,
Okay.
but I didn't get you.
Okay, all right.
All right, so any questions for Ms. Gross?
I do.
Yes.
So the difference between option B and option C is just the front?
Is the front, yes. The original color of the front of the building was the ivory color that you see on the option C.
Oh, so this is
Option
ivory. It looks gray, but it's ivory.
is because of the print.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for asking that question. So
Yes.
option A, that's the ivory.
That's actually a yellowish,
Je-
ivory color, yes.
So I like C, because I think C is closest to, that's what I
The
think.
original.
Yeah, well.
So if you look
C-
at the seal on the back of you, you will see that option C reflects more like the seal.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Ms. Adelina Gross on this topic?
Ms. Gross,
Yes, ma'am.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Was this it? Just these three colors were proffered? Or these options?
Yes.
There was no more, and you chose.
I'm gonna
I'm
give,
not a fan. I'm being honest. I'm
I'm-
not a fan of any of these options. I'm.
Yeah, I'm not.
I am
gonna
not a
give-
fan. I don't want to feel compelled. Y'all know me. I got to keep it real. I don't feel compelled to have to be forced to choose something, and I'm not. I won't even paint my house like any of these colors. I don't like.
Ms.
I-
Gross,
an option, an
Ms.
option.
Ms.
But
Gross,
does it have an option D?
no,
Ms. Gross,
unfortunately.
Ms. Gross,
Okay.
Ms. Gross.
Yes, sir. I know,
I-
but
oh,
you want me
okay.
to? I understand the concerns and that it's probably not the most likable colors that we would all like to see at Historic City Hall. However, we have to stick to historical records. The building is painted in those colors. The original building is painted in those colors as part of the of restoring the building to its original condition. That's one of the requirements
That we have to use the same colors?
that we have to use same or similar colors.
Oh, same or similar?
Yes.
Oh,
Those are
okay,
the
so let's
similar.
get some similar colors.
Those are the similar.
Commissioner Williams want option D.
Yeah, Commissioner Kelly wants option E. When Commissioner Williams finished.
I'm just not gonna vote.
Mr. Mayor, and I know you said that option C was closer to our, what was the wording used?
Yes, the city logo. It's closer to the seal. And the seal is a reflection of the only color picture from 1928.
To me, when I look at it, I see like 3 or 4 different things. I don't see cohesiveness. I just see a hodgepodge of things. So I don't know. I guess I just get used to looking at pink all the time. Maybe I should.
Is-
Okay, so we only have these 3 to go with. I guess we'll see how it votes out.
Mr. Mayor,
Vice Mayor.
I think I might know what the problem is.
Okay.
The problem is we're looking at the color on paper. Is there a way, Mr. Manager, that we could see the colors possibly on
Give me just a moment.
like
Which
in
one?
live and living color?
Digital.
No, like
Yes,
on the actual
yes.
piece of concrete or
Yes.
something.
She actually has those.
Okay.
Yes.
See how quick that worked?
I thought you meant like 3D.
No, because,
Yes.
yeah. Okay,
So when
but we can,
y'all looking at that, so you're looking at this color. How many colors do y'all see when y'all looking at it? Maybe I
what I did ask her if, because it looked gray, but she said, no, it's not gray, it's ivory. And
and that's why I have the challenge because it looks gray to me too.
correct, but she said it's not gray, it's ivory. And then I know the pink is what it's always been.
You just like pink.
But that's salmon. It's not even pink.
You just like pink.
It's just like.
You want to paint every building pink. But you painted your way.
So,
I say what I
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
In terms of responsibility for maintaining, touching up, what have you, will that be a city responsibility or a contract responsibility?
That would be a city responsibility.
Okay, and would we be able to handle that, or we would need special equipment, special whatever, since it's a historic building?
Well, since it's a historic building, we would have to determine if, what Did you? Just a second, Commissioner. So we haven't reviewed if we're going to require special equipment yet for it being a historical building. We anticipated that we'd be able to maintain it with the paint team that we have. And if not, we can contract that service out.
Okay. It's not a major factor, but it is a factor because this is going to be your crown jewels. So and I'm not a color person. I see 3 or 4 different colors here, and maybe she said it's not gray. Looks gray to me. She said it's ivory.
Yeah.
Say it again. It don't what?
It
No, it doesn't pop. Well, the only thing pop is that green dome to me. The only thing that's popping, but okay. Well, we're waiting on the call. Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, it looks-
So let's stick a pin right there. And then we can move on to the next one is the,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not done with
Okay.
Historic City Hall. I wanted to make sure that when it comes to City Hall, that we all are, have a voice and that we all have a hand in what is being planned and what the plan will be. Thank you, Mr. Manager, for bringing the color options to us, because, we know that we weren't afforded that, previously. However, I also wanted to make sure that when it comes to anything dealing with City Hall, through the manager's office or the clerk's office, please make sure you poll the entire commission, i.e. ribbon cutting dates, i.e. save the dates, i.e. anything that happens moving forward when it comes to City Hall, or i.e. what the plan is going to be within what and it will be, not should be, but it will be the entire commission that's going to plan out when the ribbon cutting happens, what City Hall will be used for. Just like you did tonight with the colors. What I'm going to make sure, and it's not going to happen, we're not going to get, Historic City Hall is not going to be railroaded. And so we're going to make sure that all 5 commission, everyone here is going to have a say, a voice in everything, every plan. So I just want to make sure on the record, Mr. Manager, Madam Clerk, everyone, no save the date should be sent out that we don't know about, no dates of ribbon cuttings that we don't know about, or even a program of who's going to speak, who's coming, all of that should go through the entire commission. So if we want to do that tonight, I'm willing to stop everything here to have that conversation. But if we're not, and lastly, we need to make sure that City Hall is ready before we ribbon cut anything. Now, I'll allow all my colleagues to speak to if they are in agreement with that, but I just want to make sure I put that on the record. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Vice Mayor.
I am in agreement with that. And what I am mostly in agreement with is that we do not cut a ribbon until it is 100% completed. That's it.
Mayor?
Commissioner Kelly.
I was, well, obviously, I think all of us agree we want to make sure it's finished. But I was glad to see this on discussion because I keep hearing in the community what historic City Hall is going to be. I mean, I know it's our crown jewel, it's our gateway to downtown, all those good phrases. But what I would like to know, and maybe it's already somewhere, what is the plan, the purpose after we cut the ribbon? What is the intent to be in City Hall? What is the plan for the site? Yeah, do we know that already, or is that something the commission you all have talked about prior to? And if so, I'd like to see those plans. But I want to know what's going to actually take place in Historic City Hall once we do cut the ribbon. And I totally agree not to cut it until we know. But has there been any discussions, or is that, I think it's probably can't happen tonight unless somebody has some plans already, what it will be used for? Do we know or have an idea? Management
the
have
mayor.
suggestions?
Plans,
Commissioner Williams.
So-
plans have been made. Discussions have been had, not just here with us. So I think that that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. So that we're gonna stop that train that needs to stop tonight. And we need to decide and have a discussion what we think City Hall, the use, whether it's going to be multi-purpose, whether it's going to be. Now, of course, I believe we would need to have this conversation with the manager's office, but I would like the manager perhaps to have a conversation with each of us individually so that we can see. I don't know, honestly, when it comes to remodeling, sometimes the square footage changes, sometimes things change. So there may be, those conversations may have to also be had, of course, with Ms. Gross and the builders, because we don't know. We're going off of our old thoughts of what we used to do in there, but what the square footage of like specific rooms, we can't say a banquet hall if we don't have a room. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I think we need to know
Just
that.
raise the question. I couldn't hear the
Oh,
first
I,
part.
I don't think I was asking a question. I was just saying, that Commissioner Kelly was saying if we had a plan for the usage, and I was saying that we need to create a plan, like perhaps when we get to a point where we can actually walk in and tour it before the ribbon cutting, because to me, that plan should be like ribbon cutting, everything, everyone knows what's gonna be. Doesn't make sense to do a ribbon cutting and then it stays dormant and we didn't have a plan for what is gonna, be inside. But what I'm saying is we would need to know specific, like, this is how many rooms, this is square footage, this is maybe it's meeting rooms. We have a lot of, organizations, not only in our community, but outside of our community that, want meeting rooms or want to meet with groups. Those are different options, but I think we won't know. But I'm just saying, to me, I think meeting rooms are great, but I know Meek Foundation does that, rent out that space. So, having those conversations, but I was just saying with you, because I know that all the intricacies of historic City Hall, maybe that is a conversation that you need to be a part of as well. That's what I was saying.
Mayor,
Okay, Commissioner
Oh.
Kelly. go ahead.
thank you, Commissioner. I just want to know, yes or no, is there a plan? If there's not a plan, then what is management proposing that the commission would be looking at? Because they do know with any modifications, how it's supposed to look. I looked at some of the information and they're talking about the walkway having to reinforce and some of the other things that I remember were in there. If there's not a plan already, what is management recommending so the commission can have a discussion on what we want to see based on any change that have taken place? So if there's not a plan, yes, no. There is a plan? Okay, well then let me back up and just say, could I get a copy of the plan, because I don't.
Well, sir, we don't have a written plan yet. But the funding that the administration utilized was already secured upon my being appointed as interim, and it was a CDBG block grant. So for a museum. So we will have to now I'll look to see if we can modify that grant in any form, but at some point we have 3 levels, and a portion of that will have to be dedicated to the museum, since that was the monies that the city utilized to secure that space. So those are the plans, given that that was the money and the funding source, and that's the money that we utilized to rehab the building that we've planned for. Now, the other spaces, probably the easiest place to facilitate and meet the requirements of that museum would be the 2nd floor. So that leaves the 1st floor and the 3rd floor open. And we're at the will of the commission as to how the first floor and the third floor is utilized. One of the discussions that's been had by a couple of your colleagues is a special event space. And so we're definitely open to that recommendation as well.
Okay, so the funding requires a part of a plan that we know of, but the other pieces really will come down to what the commission wants to see.
That's correct, sir. So what we did was we have a sister building that is the exact replica of our building that's in Miami Springs. Administration, we toured that building. That is actually one of the most in-demand event spaces here in South Florida. You have very nice, expensive weddings that get filmed there, get had there. Very nice, expensive movies and music videos that get taped there. It's a great source of revenue stream for the city. We also invited the commission to take a tour of that too. Haven't been able to get your schedules over. That was in September of last year. So we want to expose the commission to possibilities and ideas so that you have a broad range when you make a decision on how floor 1 and floor 3 are utilized.
Okay, well, then I'll go back to the same statement I made with Arabian Nights. Since you have a plan, we're going to pick some paint color at some point. 3 weeks out, we need to have an idea of what we're going to do. So are you proposing then this tour first? Are you proposing individual meeting with the commission, not only to make sure we understand what's required from the funding source, but the possibilities? You said you already had some discussion with a couple of so for event space.
Yes.
All right. Well,
The city of Miami Springs has a replica of the same building.
Hold on.
So we met with the administration.
Because I see what's happening.
Oh, sir?
1 second, Mr. Manager. Yes, me and the manager discussed City Hall, because that's what you said there was a plan, right? And a plan for the ribbon cutting and the programs and stuff. So I'll put it out there. Me and the manager had a discussion about City Hall. No, we did not say what the City Hall will be used for. Yes, we asked to poll the commission because I asked that the ribbon cutting as a ceremonial head of the city be on the city's birthday, which is May 14th.
As
Right,
the
Ms.
what?
Manager? That's correct. May 14th, city's birthday.
No, you said as the ceremonial head of the city, you got to choose
No,
May
I didn't-
14th as the
no,
date.
I asked, and we polled the
Oh.
commission.
Oh, well, the poll didn't happen.
Madam Clerk,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
did we poll the commission for May 14th to see if they were available and to see if they was okay with that date?
Mr. Mayor, I did reach out to the members of the commission. I did not reach everyone at that time when I called. However, at the same time, right after that, I spoke with Ms.
Oh, wait, no,
Graham.
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
But I want to hear this
But I-
because
Oh,
Yeah,
go
so I
ahead.
did attempt to reach out to every member of the commission. I didn't reach everyone at that time.
but we've been reached out after that for other things. So why didn't we go back to that May 14th date?
May 14th date
Okay.
was scratched when City Hall was vandalized.
Were you not planning May 14th with the manager and the clerk?
No, I can tell you what happened.
Mhm.
Me and the manager sat down. I said, I want to do it on May 14th. Let's poll the commission to see if they're available. In that same meeting, I told the manager to sit with each member of the commission once we do a plan to see if they like what we do, to add or take away. Is that not what happened? Not what we discussed, Mr. Manager? They can add or take away. Because I knew that this was gonna be a problem.
But it is. So that's why I'm saying, because a save the date was already out.
Nope, save the date, never.
Well,
mind.
May 14th, people knew about May 14th.
No,
Oh, yeah. Plenty elected officials knew about May 14th. Secondly, and I'm just gonna say it again, Mr. Manager, what should not happen, and we all have a vote, ceremonial cut ribbons, what should not happen moving forward is that you help come up with a plan with one member and then bring that plan to all of us. We're all going to discuss, and I'm gonna say again, Mr. Manager, Madam Clerk, because we were down this road right here in this same chamber. I'm saying what we need to do is make sure before dates are rolled out, before conversations are had, that it's going to be this date, that everyone on the commission has said yes to Madam Clerk. If she's saying right now she didn't reach everyone, then everyone didn't say yes to the date. So why have conversations about the dates?
I told you that the date, we stopped it. And I have another question, Commissioner Williams. I'm glad you brought that up. How far does that go when it comes down to events? So that every event we have to do?
It's not an event, it's a ribbon cutting. It's a
So, but
difference.
no. these
It's
are
a
city
ribbon
events.
cutting.
City event.
But I'm talking about the ribbon cutting.
Mm-mm.
It's a ribbon cutting. Is that what this, it's a ribbon cutting. I think I've used the word ribbon cutting multiple
Still
times.
an event.
Ribbon cutting. So again, on a ribbon cutting on this magnitude, that is my request to the charter members. That's it.
Mr. Mayor? If I may?
Sure. 'Cause
So in the city clerk's defense, I was asked to attend meetings where there was discussion potentially about historic city hall. I had no determination whatsoever in terms or say so in terms of date. I have nothing to do with historic city hall other than following the directive that I was given. So I just want to
would
be
agree.
clear that, I'm just following
I
directive,
would agree.
and whatever the commission as a whole decides moving forward, then that's the directive that I will follow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else on this topic?
So where are we?
We're at a place where we're being.
No,
we're
we're, you
doing-
know,
this is, it's,
listen, we're talking about celebrating, we're talking about
it
at
was,
some point, historic city hall being open. We still got,
Commissioner Kelly was
we've
never,
got to put some things in place.
it was never etched in stone. And I said that.
No, I'm not,
And that's why we're here. That's why it's a workshop, so that we can etch it in stone.
Yeah, but you are.
Together-
accusing and
I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not gonna do this with you. So
Mr. Mayor, can I suggest something?
Yes, Commissioner Kelly.
Number one, from my perspective, get us all the information regarding CBG requirement part. And then, that you said about how we have to have a museum, and you're proposing the second floor based on whatever you're proposing. If you could just get that information to us, and whatever your recommendations are for first floor, third floor, and I would suggest, because this is a major undertaking, and this is going to take a discussion more than just we have tonight. So I would say to my colleagues, Mr. Mayor, as the chair of the commission, obviously had some initial discussions. My challenge is not with that. I just want to make sure going forward, the timelines, so that we all are clearly understanding, so we can get the ribbon cutting done at the appropriate time when it's ready, and know what we're going to do in this building, and that we all agree on that. Because otherwise, we're gonna defeat the purpose of what we're trying to do, which is to move our city forward. So after you get that to us, Mr. Manager, I guess we can look at that, and all of us can reach out to you, the clerk, whoever, and decide how we want to go forward. I have my own ideas, but I'll talk to you about those. This is not good, not good, not good, not good.
Can we show the pictures?
You can absolutely show the pictures.
So this is option A. This is based on the 1980 renovation that was completed. As you can see the picture, it's more clear, and it's an ivory color, tan color that was selected based on that picture. You can see that the dawn was army green, and there is a terracotta dawn as well, and a lighter color dawn in the middle. Option B Option B is the rose color that we saw in the recent years. Same dawn colors. Well, except for that this dawn color was changed to the turquoise color that was original in for the building. And option C is modeled after the only original picture that we have from Historic City Hall taken back in 1928. If you scroll down, Nick, we will be able to share it. Where the picture is, where the actual 1928 picture is. Yeah, that one. This is the 1928 picture.
That's C, right?
This is C. Yeah, that's C. Mhm.
Can I see B again, please?
Yes. In this model, you have all pictures together. All.
B is what it was now. Today.
Yes.
The
Option
only
B is
difference is the
dawn
dome
colors.
colors.
Yes. B is what it was the last couple of years. Option C is model after 1928 picture, and option A is 1980s picture.
Can you go back to the you said 28?
28
Can you go back to that?
to the picture.
Yes.
Can you go back? That one. Can you zoom in?
It's a lot of pink. I like pink, but it's a lot of pink. Ooh.
Is that so in option C, I see, I know you said that's not gray, but was that cream, like a cream
It's
color?
a cream color.
I don't
It's
see
ivory
that.
cream color.
Is that
You
it?
can see it on the electrical tower on the front. The dawns on the dawn and part of the entrance.
Okay. Looks like there's more on this picture than here. Maybe, because it's all looking pink to me. I mean, I
It's a
just
lot of
see.
pink, and I like.
It's a
pink.
1928
A
picture.
lot
So
of pink.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So right here in the front, right here,
Mhm.
I'm just kind of basing it on what I'm seeing here. All of this right here in the front would be the cream eggshell color.
Yeah.
Okay. And then everything else behind it would be the same color that we're looking at.
The
We've been
pink
looking
color,
at that
the
pink-
rose color that you're looking
The
at.
sound. Okay. Okay. I just needed to see this. So this is the C. Okay.
That's it.
And then if you can go back down. Oh, maybe.
8 is 1980. B is the most recent color. You can see the 1980 picture. You can see it on the top. And C is the one model after 1928. That is the most lookalike of the seal at the moment.
Okay.
So we are following the standards for the. We are following the standards for the interior standard for the Secretary of Interior standards for repairs and renovations of historic buildings. We are following the guidelines, and we are basing the colors on the property documentation that was provided at the moment it became a national building.
And Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
I might just add, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, whatever we decide, whichever one, A, B, C, or whichever one, I know the surrounding buildings, which is going to be coming up later, will probably have to be somewhere in that same context or to have a good look, correct?
Go ahead, sis.
Yeah. I'll just take a peek.
But it's not the pink of Shabundi.
No, it's not
And
Charbonne
not
pink.
the-
No, it's not Charbonne pink. It's a rose pink. I think you have a sample of how the paint actually looks like.
They don't call it, what do you call it, salmon?
That sounded.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
like
it-
it's. Oh,
So the sample that you have, can you just bring it to the commission meeting and we discuss it when we get to that item?
I have a picture of the samples, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so we're good.
Thank you.
And, but the next question is, never mind. Okay, so when you bring it to the commission meeting, we'll discuss and vote at that time. Any other questions for Adelina? Historical City Hall? All right, thank you, Ms. Gross.
You're very welcome.
All right, next item is the city's birthday celebration.
Okay. I would like to take a bite at that, please, sir,
Vice
Mr. Mayor. Okay, so today is May 8th. And last year we celebrated it like the 17th, 18th, or the 18th, 19th, 20th, whatever it was. So based upon the fact that today is May 8th, my suggestion would be that we would do the exact same thing that we did last year. Now, I see that bingo is a separate dot here, but and I had this conversation with you. For bingo to be that Friday night, which is the 17th, Saturday, we would do the pool party, water slide, phone stuff, picnic, that until 5. And then after that, karaoke would start until 11. And then the next day, we would do the gospel part of the celebration. I'm not sure if my colleagues agree with that or not. I mean, obviously, the last I checked, you didn't agree with bingo being on the 17th because you said it's going to be on the 10th.
The second Friday of every month is what we advertise. That's why.
Yes, but we've advertised the second Friday before. We've advertised the third Friday before. After last month's bingo, because we knew it was our birthday. You don't know this because you come late and leave early. I announced to the residents and friends that were there that this month's bingo, May bingo, would be on the third Friday, like we did last year, for our birthday celebration. I get the flyer. It said the 10th. I said to the clerk, it's the wrong date. And she said, no, the mayor said that's what the date is going to be. Oh. So maybe we need to poll the commission to see what date that we're going to do bingo for the month of May in collaboration with our birthday celebration, because it's May and we're just talking about the birthday celebration May 8th. In 9 days, we're going to be celebrating our birthday.
Through the mayor, I'm going to agree with Vice Mayor. The event that we had last year was a success. And I don't see any need to move bingo outside of any windows. I'm disheartened that you were told, Vice Mayor, that what was gonna be, but I'm gonna say that we need to ensure, again, that the commission have conversations. I'm gonna agree with you, Vice Mayor, and we can make a motion, take it to a vote. I don't know how that works.
Well, I'll say this. It's really interesting. I guess this is beat up on the mayor night. Since you said I leave, you said
No, you come late and leave early.
Right.
And we
no,
have
no,
a few
no,
people
no,
here
no.
that play bingo that agree to that.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you, Vice Mayor.
no
So
problem.
it's really interesting, and I don't like to play in the sandbox because I think it is petty that we're actually having this conversation, period. But you're going off about bingo, but you chose the date for the city's celebration for the karaoke. You chose it to be a karaoke. None of the commission weighed in on it. Nobody gave their opinion. We didn't have a workshop to say what the residents or the commission wanted to see for the city's birthday. You took it upon yourself with your picture on the flyer and decided that you were going to have a karaoke and nobody had an opinion on it. Yet, because I had bingo on the second Friday, which has always been, that's a problem. So what's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. So if it's okay for vice mayor to plan the city's birthday party the way the vice mayor wants to do it. I don't, so, and it wasn't, you wasn't inclusive of the five of us.
Okay.
Nobody knew about the pool party and the karaoke, and we're not even on the flyer, but it's the city's birthday. But it's the city's birthday. And again, I didn't even care about that, but it's just like, I think we can argue about way more other stuff. It's so much we can be doing in Opa-locka
we-
other than arguing about
can
events. You started it. Arguing
Can
about
we-
events.
No, but I'm gonna finish it.
It's
So can
petty.
we
It's petty.
move forward if you wanna, if we're gonna
It's
do it?
petty.
No, you're petty, but let's
No,
If I may, Commissioner Williams, I would like to correct something from him. Last year, what we did the same thing, or we were headed to do the same thing this year that we did last year. We did not discuss the city's birthday at all. It was something that needed to be done, or you didn't want us to do anything. But it's our birthday, we had to do something.
At this point, Vice Mayor, whatever you want to do, since you are the party planner of the city, whatever you want to do. You want to move bingo, we will move together. So
Sir, we're not
it-
asking to
so
move
it's
bingo
petty to me. It's
forever.
to call her the party planner of the city, that's petty.
So-
It
but-
is,
That's
it
wrong.
is.
She did not attack you. She
did.
said what
Young lady,
how she
early.
felt.
You didn't, so, but I can't. I'm not doing this. All right, so we're moving on. You can move bingo, we can move bingo to the 17th to put it all together. That's fine, Mr. Manager. I'm okay with that. I
Thank
will,
you. It's not that you didn't know that, because we had that conversation.
no,
Yes, we did.
Vice Mayor, we good. Let's move on. 'Cause
Okay,
this is petty.
I just want you, you
This
go,
is- this is
with
Vice
you,
Mayor,
if
come on.
you say it's petty, it's petty. If you say it's disrespectful, it's
Yep.
disrespectful. Who disrespect more than you do?
When have I ever
Nice.
disrespected you?
What?
Please let me,
Me,
I would apologize.
not me as a individual. But us as a dais, you're disrespectful
When
to
have I
us.
disrespected the dais?
You do
No,
all
speak
the
for
time.
yourself.
I am.
When have I disrespected you?
You do all the time.
and
Oh,
when-
I just said it.
when
I
have I
just said it,
disrespected-
literally, Historic City Hall. You out here with the save the dates, letting everybody know what you
We do
want.
a-
And you
I
said the
asked
word
her to
I.
do a
You used the word
poll.
I.
I asked her to do a poll to ask the
Okay.
commission if it was okay. I
And-
know what I
And that
said,
poll didn't happen.
but that's not my fault.
Okay, but
And
you
I
said
told
the
you
word
reason why you
I.
didn't get the poll, but she also
It's
told you the
okay.
reason why you
It's
didn't get the poll.
okay. It's okay.
But
It's about
I
you.
think-
Your vote, your one vote.
Thank you. I'm actually not,
You're
you're
not.
right, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
right,
very right.
You're right,
Mr. Mayor,
you're right.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly, I'm sorry.
thank you. I would hope when this meeting is over that all of us would just go look at it on YouTube, because this is what our residents are seeing. All of us are passionate in one way or the other. This is what they're seeing. It's not a good reflection on any of us. I don't care what the issue is. Just go take a look at it afterwards. You ain't got to call nobody, just take a look. This is what our residents are seeing. This is what our staff are seeing. We got to do better than that. I don't care what the event is. I don't care what the initiative is. We got to do better. The only thing I want to interject, because I did say to Mr. Hunter, I would mention it, and Mr. Manager, I know you don't want to get caught in any crossfires, but you're the manager. And you didn't bring the sandwiches either. Remember, I tell you, you need to bring that. With the events, because this is what came up in my briefing, whether it's birthday, whether it's bingo, there is a major concern from the state on getting the invoices, getting procurement done for these events. And I'll let the manager elaborate more on it if he chooses to, but even with the birthday coming up, bingo, anything that we're going to do, we've got to make sure that our processes are followed, that the information gets to the manager so it gets to the state, because they do not want to sign off on things that are getting to them late. And I bring it up because the birthday is like, right around the corner, along with other things that are coming up. So, Mr. Manager, can you can weigh in on that, please? Because I know it's part of the package in here about the event policy, but the birthday is right on us. But I bring that up because that was a major concern from the state. So can you clarify and add to that? So we're all on the same page with it.
Yes, sir. Through the mayor to Commissioner Kelly. That has been a concern of the state and they would like to see the commission address this. As we all are aware, we are under state financial oversight. And one of the things that they are required to do is to make sure that we're following our own policies and procedures. So that turns us to resolution number 21-9859, which you all have a copy of at this time. Which is a Parks and Recreation Department policy special events. And if it be the will of the commission, we'd like to workshop this, get feedback on the commission so that all parties involved know what the rules, regulations, policies, procedures are. The commission has the opportunity to weigh on them. And what I've asked of the state is allow this commission to look at this policy and procedure, make any edits or comments that they can, and then hold our feet to the fire. As it stands now, we are not following this policies and procedures, which is our own, which requires at least a 90-day window for all events. It also requires getting permission from your colleagues when deploying events, having a special policy and procedure for counseling events, having a special policy and procedure for what we call a post-op, polling and doing some analysis on, are we going to do this event next year? What were the pros of this event or the cons of this event? If this is something that we feel that is useful to the residents. This is one of the reasons why the state has begun to push back on the budgeting, which falls under their purview and authority under our MOU with the governor's office, which regards to special events policy. So so this is what's in place now. You have a copy of it. What I've requested from the state and what I'd like to recommend to the commission is that we have a workshop on this. We review this. We can have a staff do a presentation on this if it be the will of the commission, get some feedback, come forward with a final policy and procedure, and then say to the state, this is what this commission has agreed upon, and this is what we're going to adhere to.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The manager said it very nicely. The state didn't say it as nicely, so y'all need to be aware of that. I'll tell you just how it is, and they're not happy. And I bring it up because they watch our meetings, and we're talking about the birthday bingo. And I know as much as things are planned out, we may know it's still probably going to require some last minute something. And they're already saying that they are having challenges with that happening. And so I just wanted to bring that and wanted that to be put on the record because I did in my briefing kind of push back a little bit, but apparently from their perspective, it's been happening too much and happens too often. That puts them in a tough spot. So that's what I want to put on the record regarding that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No problem. Well, the next item was bingo, but we said we're gonna move it to the 17th. The next item is Juneteenth. Oh, Juneteenth was added. I don't know.
I'm sorry, if I may, Mr. Mayor. I know I did mention last year that Juneteenth came and went and we did absolutely nothing. For us to be a Black city, we didn't do anything for Juneteenth. So maybe that's why it's on there. I think the manager was getting ready to say something.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I requested the clerk add Juneteenth since, again, we're getting a lot of pressure and heat from the state to have these events planned out in advance. So we wanted to get the will of the commission on the direction that you want to go in with this particular event, since it's right around the corner.
Well,
I don't have anything, but you.
if we're going to do something, I guess it'll have to come back in some kind of resolution form.
Well, at this stage in the game, we're hoping to get some direction, and if it be the will of the commission, we'll follow through and execute on
Does the
it.
manager's office want to propose an event for Juneteenth, or what are you trying to do?
Um, we have a line item for Juneteenth, and so we wanted to get some guidance on how, if there's going to be a member of the commission to take lead on that. We'll work one-on-one with a member of the commission. If one of the members of the commission says that they will work with us on that.
Mr. Mayor, this goes to what I said way back when we started putting these events. There has to be a lead on everything, even if it's commission sponsored or whatever. There has to be a lead person on it. So, and now we have Juneteenth, but don't have a leader on it. But every event or outreach thing that we do as a commission, especially the sanction by the commission, needs to have a leader. So Juneteenth doesn't have one. We're asking the manager to do something. He's asking one of us to do it.
Do you want to take the lead,
It,
Commissioner
it, it,
Kelly?
it, oh, I'm sorry.
Say it again.
You want to take the lead for the Juneteenth?
I didn't say that part.
Oh.
I'll support it. I thought Commissioner Bass was like. in charge.
I'm thinking that.
I
too.
remember
don't know
Commissioner
if
Bass
I
got
thought-
over Juneteenth last year, because I thought
Last
she
year
was the
we
one
didn't do
putting it on there.
anything.
Hmm?
We didn't do anything
I
last
just said
year.
what we did. I'm just saying, I
said-
thought I remembered
Oh,
her
okay.
mentioning about Juneteenth. So when I saw it here, I thought maybe it was something she had put forward.
Oh.
I mean, I don't mind supporting whomever, but I know she had mentioned it, so I don't know if she was still interested. But all of these things need to have a leader from the commission for them. And that's, I guess, what the manager is asking. So whoever wants to take the lead on it, that's fine. But it needs a leader.
Juneteenth is, I think it's a weeknight. The only thing about Juneteenth.
It's a Wednesday. It falls between our commission meetings.
Farm shed.
No,
No, it's not farm share.
Farm shed, y'all.
All right,
Mayor,
um,
I'm,
Commissioner Williams.
I'm not, I can tell, I'm not gonna take the lead, but I will say, I would like to see, I know during, Vice Mayor, during Black History Month, there was, a plan for the children to perform and for us to, highlight the children of Opa-locka. I don't know if that would be something, because I know the weekend is gonna be a million things, but we know anytime children are on stage, everybody comes out to see them. So I don't know if we want, I don't know, if that is an idea. I know it's a Wednesday night, but, it wouldn't be something so heavy, so large. It's just getting explosively large everywhere, and it's not enough time on the weekend to do all the Juneteenth activities. If we still want to do something on the weekend for our own residents, which is fine with me, I'm perfect with that. I know we did something, I know 10 North Group did something about 2 or 3 years ago. And I believe it was in conjunction with the city, or we helped sponsor it. That was a great activity that happened, a great event. So, we can, I think those are things that we could, that I'm just kind of putting some ideas out on the table.
So- Well, Mr. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Mayor, since I've been deemed the party planner of the city of Opa-locka, I could take I'll take Juneteenth if that's fine with my colleagues.
No problem. All right, so we're moving on to the last item, which is special events.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to note, like you all have been setting out the other events, that it should come back as a resolution for a Juneteenth celebration.
the dates.
Yes, the dates, and then you have to set out the budget. I believe that's what the state has been having you all do.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so going to the next item, which is the special events. So it sounds like Commissioner Kelly had the same conversation with the state that I had with the state. Their issue is that they want to pretty much streamline special events for the city of Opa-locka. What they would like us to do is what I discussed with them and they discussed with me, that we list every single event that we're going to do in the city of Opa-locka by name and put it in the budget. Because what they're taking away is the commission discretionary fund. Mr. Manager? I want to make sure I'm right.
Yes, you're correct, sir.
Okay, so what they're asking is that we give a wish list. And per our resolution, we're supposed to do this anyway in May. All of the events that we're going to do for the upcoming year, we list them so that the manager can add them in the budget for the upcoming year. So we will need to do another workshop in May. Or do you want to just do it one-on-one?
I prefer a workshop.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
So what I'm proposing is that everybody write down their events, submit it to the manager prior to said workshop when the commission is polled, and then the manager can summarize it up and give it back to us. That's sums it up, right, Mr. Manager?
Yes, sir. I'd just
Oh.
like to add to that, Mr. Mayor, that all the members through the clerk's office has a list that's come from our budgeting department that lists all of the previous events from the previous year, just as a help meet, so that you can review that and say, I want to do this event again next year, or on top of anything that you additional you may plan. And while you have that sheet there, and we are in budgeting season, there's also a list of memberships for commission and conferences that members of elected officials have attended in previous years, and we'd like for you to also review that and say, yes, I intend to participate in this conference, or yes, I'd like to be a member of the National League of Cities, or the Florida League of Cities, or any of the Florida Black Caucus, or any of these other memberships that are there for elected officials, because we really want, we're really getting a lot of pressure to tighten up on the budget for the commission, and this would help us a great deal.
And it was also a wish list for travel as well.
Yes, you're correct, Mayor.
Okay,
Yes. And that's all listed on the sheet here.
okay. So what we'll do, Mr. Manager, is schedule a meeting this month after we meet with it. I think maybe we should do one-on-ones first and then do a workshop. So maybe, I guess, in agenda briefings, that way you can go through it with everyone. And then you can compile a report and give it to us.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. All right, any other questions or concerns on special events? All right. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Vice Mayor. This meeting is adjourned. See you at 7 o'clock for the regular commission meeting.